Hi guys, this is Ginger and welcome back to the farm. So this weekend we had a fantastic time over at Twisted K Ranch in Ivy, Georgia, doing an obstacle course cattle run. We had loads of fun. It was a teamed event, which made it a little bit more difficult. So not only did you have to work out as a team and do things together, but you also had to do this as a timed event. And we had just the most fun out there doing that this weekend. And so it was a course that should take you roughly 15 to 20 minutes. It was capped off at 20 minutes to go through this course with your partner. And of course, naturally, it was in the middle of the summertime, so a thunderstorm came up. This is while the first riders were going through. I thought it was really neat how it's raining on half the arena and it's dry on the other half of the arena. But when it was our turn to go through, it rained pretty much the whole time. And so, unfortunately, I did not get the last half of our run on camera because my glasses stopped because it was raining. And so they stopped running, but I got the tail end of this first group, which are my trainers, Nancy and Jordan. Faulkner of Cloudline. They did excellent. Had such a good time. Jordan is on her stallion Blue Water, and Nancy was on a 17-year-old mare who this is her first year showing, and so they did just fantastic. I love the grounds here. They have great events, perfect grounds, very safe fencing. It's multiple layers. If a horse gets loose, the probability of it escaping and getting anywhere is very, very low because you have to go through multiple layers of fencing to get off of the property. So I really, love that aspect of it. But here we go. Kayla and I are starting off. You have to go through this gate, both you and your partner. And Kayla is on her walking horse, Sherlock, and Sherlock has not been rode pretty much in about the same as Honey. Honey and Sherlock both have not really been rode in the last 2 years. Maybe just, a handful of times. But we made it work. These are not naturally bred cow ponies, but we had a good time anyway, and just enjoyed, the whole event and being able to do this. So once we got through the gate, we had to go over this teeter-totter bridge, which both of them did really, really well with no problems. And then we moved on to where there was a side pass that needed to be done in both directions. So you needed to be able to do it together at the same time, as what was planned. Sherlock wasn't really having none of it, but that's all right. And then you stop at the other end, and then you go over and you side pass the other direction. And then from there we move on down to where we have to rope the cow. And I've been practicing, and I have my roping down pretty okay. I've been hitting it a majority of the time, but as you will see, I did not hit it majority of the time this time, of course, because my roping instructor is literally standing directly in sight of me at the rail, and I can look right at him. And so naturally I did not hit it the first time because that would be crazy to do that right off the bat, especially when he's sitting there looking at you. So I was like, all right, well, let's do it again. Honey's standing there really nicely. she's not the biggest fans of ropes, but I was like, we will do it. And I hit it and pulled it right off the head. Right off the head. I had it. So we had a good laugh, and then I was like, you know what? We're going to try it one more time. Let's do this one more time. So I was trying really hard not to get frustrated, but by then I was like, really? Because during practice I've been hitting it every single time with no problems. But, you know, whatever. So here we go, and we did it and got it. So then your partner runs down and flips the cow over onto its side. And then you have to get off of your horse and run over and brand the cow. And then release the cow. And then we remount back up and move on to the next obstacle. So here I'm just going to throw you out from my glasses. I'm using the Meta 8 guide glasses. So this is a teeter-totter bridge. It weaves back and forth. And we just trot on around. We come over to these two logs. I'm at the front one. Kayla's at the back one. And when she gets in position, what she does is she yells at me. And then we side pass over one direction, stops. She tells me when she's ready. And then we go and we side pass back over to the other side. And then here's where we get ready to go on to go rope. And it is really difficult for somebody who doesn't do this all the time to go and get your rope ready and while you're riding. Shit. Let me try it one more time. I had it.
There we go. Thank you, Sherlock.
Okay. All right, hold in. Hold the cow. Hold the cow. All right, take the rope off the cow's head. Drop it on the ground. Good, mount your horse. No, we're not waiting on him. Just having none of it. But I finally got her up here, and then what we have to do is we have to pick up this rope, and we have to drag it around in a circle. Now, technically, for better scores, you should dally it around your horn and pull it, but I told Kayla not to worry about that, and also I did not worry about that because Honey doesn't particularly like dragging things. Well, I don't know why. Some days she does it very well, but this day she said to heal with all of that. So I was not dallying. I told Kayla has never pulled and dallied anything off of Sherlock. He's never pulled anything that she really knows of. And so I was like, do not dally. That way you can just release it and drop it on the ground. If anything happens, just drop it and just go. But he did really excellent. I mean, once he got going and started pulling, he did really, really well. So I was very, very proud of how he did that. So anyway, in this show,
Good
you
job.
should dally
Good
your
job,
rope
Sherlock.
around the horn and pull the log all the way
All right,
back
pull it
to
all
the
the way up.
original position that it was in. But again, we did not do that because I was unsure of how they were going to react.
No,
And,
pull your
I
log
didn't want
if you
any
can.
wrecks. So we did not dally that way. If we needed to drop and run, we could. And from here, we move on over to the cattle, and of course it is still raining. And it was quite an event. By this time, this is where my glasses really started messing up, and they go out shortly. I think once I get in the pen is when they go out. But we have to separate one particular cow out and let it through this
pull it in
gate
towards you.
and then run it through an obstacle. And you will see how this
About right there.
got really difficult here for us.
All right, so you want to shut it but not latch it. Oh, hang on, we got poop.
Yep. Too late. Push it forward. Push it forward.
So with this rain, it was really starting to come down, and it was pretty windy, and I was struggling just a little bit with thunderstorms because that's not really quite my favorite. But regardless, we were in there and we were doing it. So we had to separate out one particular cow, not just any cow, but they were all numbered, and we had to get that one numbered cow. And we ended up not getting that cow. We got it separated several times, but she was really, really sticky and fresh with the group, and would just run too fast before we were able to get the gate open to let the cow out. And Sherlock started struggling a little bit with maintaining his composure. He's terrified of cows, and so every time the cows would come over in that area, he would keep backing away from the gate, which is totally fine. He's not a cow pony. He's not bred for this, and this is just not something that this particular horse is bred and trained to do. And the horse that I am on also, her ancestors might have done this, but she nor her parents have never done anything, like this. She's only seen cows like a handful of times, before, and she was game for trying her best, but it was not something that's just like a natural talent with cutting and moving, quickly to separate out one cow. And so we would get the cow, but the cow is just a little bit too fast for us to be able to do with the skill set, that we had. So what I ended up doing at the end was we finally just separated out a cow, just because the horses needed a win at this point. And so we were getting close on time. This is also timed, and I don't want to run the cows a lot too much. So in the end, we just separated out one particular cow. It didn't matter which cow it was, and we just let that one cow out. I'm not too sure if we caught it on film or if the camera died out, but instead of taking that cow through the whole course, we just took it right back to the gate and put that cow back up, because it wasn't our cow and I didn't want to stress that cow to mess up the next person's run, because I don't know if that cow was picked. So all we did was put that cow right back into the pen and into the herd, and then finished up the course. Yeah. We still had a lot of fun. It was a great learning experience. We had such a good time. You know, for the horses to not do this day in and day out on a regular basis, they did the very best that they could, and held it together as much as possible. And we still really enjoyed our time, and it ended on a good note. By the time we walked back to the finish line, they were nice and relaxed and calm, and we just had a really good time. Now the next day we were supposed to do it again, but I made the executive decision to not do that because my horse's well-being is way more important than any competition. And instead we decided to take them out into the woods and go for a little walk and just really relax their minds and just reconnect with them, so that they did not end this weekend being really agitated. These two horses haven't been rode a whole lot in the last 2 years.
Either way, it don't matter.
There was no point in stressing them to the max with one weekend of doing things that was extremely difficult for them to do. But they are seasoned trail animals, and they really enjoyed being out in the woods, and we had a fabulous time doing it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and please like and follow for more.